Claus? I go, it sure is. She goes, is that you? I go, no, it's not me. I said, that's the real deal. He lives in Georgia. He retires from the North Pole down to Georgia every year, and he goes by the name of Mike. She goes, he's a spitting image. I said, yep.
Oh, me.
So, you're famous. You're famous up here in Ohio. We get your picture with your lovely bride standing next to you with your red and white suit on, and it's the real deal.
The real deal.
All you need is some reindeer to pull you up here.
Yeah.
So, but the temperature went way up today. We hit 88 today.
That's about what it was here.
It's pretty sticky here. It's down to 83 now. It's starting to go down, but it was pretty humid. So
the temperature was up pretty good here, and the humidity was up today too. So made it a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But not in the house. In the house, it's okay.
Yeah, apartment's nice too. It's got central air instead of that lousy little blowtorch we had at the other place. It blew cold air, but I had to keep a fan running on me all the time because I would just fry.
Yeah.
The air conditioner couldn't cool off the whole house. With this place, we got central air and ceiling fans up above. So it's comfortable.
We've got several ceiling fans, plus we got a brand new central air conditioner and central heater and blower and all that. We do have some window air conditioners that can be used, but for the most part, we're not having to use them anymore with the new central air.
Pretty good stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. We had to replace the heater back last summer during the hottest part of the year, and then this year when we had that super cold weather and ice storm and power out for 2 or 3 days, we wound up having to replace the central air conditioner in the dead of the middle of winter. But they're all replaced. They're all doing good, and Barbie's happy. And when Barbie's happy, everybody's happy.
That's true. Yeah, everybody said this last winter was just horrific for everybody.
It was. It was one of the worst we've had in a long time. But I got a way to guarantee that don't happen anymore.
How's that?
My son bought me a brand new gasoline-powered generator.
All right.
So now we're not going to have any power problems because I got a generator, so the power won't ever go out again.
That's pretty good. Just don't start the house on fire. That could be disastrous too.
We won't. Like I said, we don't even have to crank the generator up or anything. We don't even have to turn it on because just the fact that we have it, then the power won't ever go off again. So.
A little bit of an insurance statement, huh?
Yep, there you go.
So where is everybody?
Let's see, I'm here.
Well, I'm here.
It's a little early. Don will be here in 2 minutes. 3 minutes, 1 minute. David Mincy usually pops in here about this time. Sandy will be a few minutes later, and this is Tuesday night, so Marty ought to be in here.
That's good.
Green should be showing up.
I keep seeing entrances by Michelle Masterson on the Skype chat room.
Oh yeah, she's still around.
Enjoying the good life, huh?
Absolutely.
Something due for all of us. So I did hear a story about a man was a kind of a consultant to a mental institution,
Yeah.
and this he was like a coordinator for social events, and he received a packet of tickets for a baseball game. Well, he wanted to coach the inmates to behave properly while they were at the baseball game, so he coached them. And then they went to the ball game, and the umpire blew a call, and the man yelled, "Boo nuts!" And they went, "Boo, boo, boo, boo!" And then the home team hit a home run, and he goes, "Cheer nuts!" And he goes, "Yay, yay, yay, yay!" And he told his helper, he says, "I need to go to the bathroom." So he left and left him in charge, and came back, and there was a riot going on in the stands. And they said, "What happened?" He says, "Somebody came by and yelled, 'Peanuts!'"
Oh, man. Good evening. This is Mike in Georgia, and you've reached the winning team training call for Tuesday evening. Please tell us who you are, where you're calling from.
Good evening, Mike and Reverend Dave. It sounds like I missed a joke.
Aren't you lucky?
Yep.
No, I mean.
If Mike doesn't edit it, you can hear it tomorrow.
Okay. And how are you two guys?
Good.
We're doing good. Bit on the warm side
Same
today.
here.
The humidity's been high, but other than that, we're doing good.
Same
I was
here, a little warm and humid.
I was telling Mike we hit 88 here in Akron today
Yeah, I think we were
with
right
humidity.
close to 90.
That's about where we were today, too, so.
But it's down to 83 now, so it's starting to go down. So, but we have central air now, Don, so I'm happy. So
Didn't
I'll
have
be
it
comfortable
before, huh?
tonight.
Yeah, that makes a world of difference when it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Often wonder how we got along when I was a kid and we never had such things.
Hmm.
We never
My
had it,
mom
never
said
missed
something
it.
about that this evening. I said, "Well, I guess we sweat a lot."
I don't know. I don't remember. We didn't have it. We didn't miss it. It just one of them things. But now, if we don't have it, we sure would miss it.
That same here.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? One generation's luxury is the next generation's necessity.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember my my first car that I bought had no air conditioner in it, and I thought I was going to die. And then in the winter, the heater didn't work, so I froze in the winter and fried in the summer. I used to tell people I had 480 air conditioning. I'd roll down 4 windows and go 80 miles an hour.
Yep, that's what we did.
Survive.
We got anything exciting going on from Indiana tonight?
No, well, they're talking about some rain later on, but other than that, same old, same old.
Okay. I just checked here. Our temperature is now down to 84. Mostly cloudy. And dry conditions will continue in between thunderstorms.
That sounds like a contradiction.
I think that dry conditions will continue just permanently on the screen there.
That's like saying they'll be light shortly followed by sunrise.
Yeah. They are predicting thunderstorms tonight, but they say dry conditions are going to continue. So just take your choice. Go out and look at the weather rock and see what the weather rock says.
If it's wet, it's raining.
Yep.
I just checked ours. We're at 84, and I looked on my weather place that I use, and they've got Doppler radar, and I see a big thunderstorm to the left or to the west of us that should be here probably within an hour or so.
Well, we have partly cloudy skies and 87.
You're the warm spot tonight.
Yep.
I really like that Doppler. I can pretty much make my own prediction from it.
Yep.
Do you get tornadoes out there very often, Don?
Oh, we haven't had any for a few years now, but we used to get them quite regularly.
I used to remember how flat that land was out there in Indiana.
Yeah, it's flat land. It's been quite a few years since we've really had any destructive ones. The biggest one I remember was when I was a kid, because I helped clean it up. I was in the Boy Scouts, and it was called it happened on a Palm Sunday. There were quite a few lives lost and, a lot of damage. I was in the Boy Scouts then, and we helped do some cleanup. Made a believer out of me to stay away from those things.
Yep.
You know, sometimes people chase those things.
Yeah, I've seen some
Take
stuff
pictures
on YouTube. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, especially when you consider how unpredictable their path actually can be. You think you're watching it go one way and it can turn around and come right at you all of a sudden. So, not a thing to play with. I was back in 1973. We lived here in North Atlanta, and I had been over to Alabama to visit my parents, and we left and drove back that night, and we got home real late, and we were tired, so we were sleeping, and we were sleeping in, didn't have to get up the next morning, and I suddenly the phone started ringing, woke me up. My mother wanted to know if we was all right. And I said, well, yeah, I guess. And then about that time, I realized I heard all kind of sirens running back and forwards outside, and people hollering and screaming and carrying on. And I didn't know what on. And I asked Mom what the deal was. She said she'd seen on television where a big, huge tornado went right through where we were. I never knew it.
Slept right through it, Mike?
I slept right through it. It did a lot of damage. It went through a truck yard where they had a bunch of 18-wheel trucks parked and stuff like that. It rolled them up like little balls. And, it just happened to jump over the apartment complex we lived in then, and skipped on down the road a mile or two and hit the governor's mansion.
Hmm.
And did a lot of damage there, but we didn't experience any damage. Our power didn't even go off. We were quite lucky, but it was real strange. My mother called to ask, if we were all right because she had seen it on television. And I didn't even know it was going on. So we've had a few of them around here. We had one storm already this spring that dropped down some rather large trees right here in the neighborhood, but we didn't have a tornado that day. So there are those that come through here occasionally, but fortunately, in the last 40 years since we've been here, they've skipped my house and around me. Good evening. This is Mike in Georgia. You've reached the winning team training call for Tuesday evening. Tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hi, Mike. It's Sandy. Hi, everybody.
Good
Hi,
evening,
Sandy.
Sandy. I'm glad you're here, Sandy. I want to mention something. See if I can
Okay.
get my screen up here where I can find it again. Uh, yeah, there it is. Sandy has posted a PR on IBO that I really, really, really think everybody needs to read. It's a subject that we have been, I don't know, trying to teach everybody for the last couple years here anyway about, well, see if I can read her title. Want more followers on Twitter, Facebook, and G+. I think you could also have added IBO in on that too. Hold on just one
Yeah.
moment. Good evening. This is Mike in Georgia, and you've reached the winning team training call. Tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
This is David Messi calling from Melbourne, Florida.
I thought that sounded like your ring. Good evening, David.
Hello, Mr. Mency.
Hello there, Doc.
Hi, David.
Hi, Sandy. Hey, you beat me in here.
She sure did.
Hey.
Sure did. And I was just talking about
A minute.
Sandy here and a PR that she had published on IBO that I really think if everybody hasn't, they need to go read it and pay attention to it. But more than that, it needs to be shared. It needs to be shared everywhere because it is a really, really good article there, and it has a lot of good information and tips to follow on getting other people to take a look at your PR, but not just that, but getting it out there and getting yourself and your name and everything else out there. Some really, really good information. I highly recommend everybody go and read Sandy's PR if you haven't done it yet. But do more than read it. Comment on it. Post, post the little Facebook comment section that's now on your IBO PR pages, and let's get it out there. Let's get it out there for more people to see because it's really good information.
Thanks, Mike. But as I was writing that, I realized I don't do a lot of that stuff. I need to start paying attention to what I wrote.
That's one of the best ways to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was posted on the one of the buffer emails that I get.
Mm-hmm.
And it really hit home. I thought, boy, this is good information. I need to pick this apart and start using some of this. So as I was writing, looking at it and reading it, I thought, this would make a good blog, a good PR. Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. How's everybody else doing?
Well, we're doing good down here in Georgia. We've
Great.
having a lot of little rainstorms come up, but in between the rain, it's been sunny and dry. So, and even though
Yeah,
they
we were
got,
coming.
I was going to say, even though they got thunderstorms predicted tonight, the weather says dry conditions will continue. So, you can just take your choice there.
We were coming home from South Carolina today, and they were predicting for I guess it was the Columbia area, severe thunderstorms with hail, big golf ball size hail. So I don't know whether they got that or not, but we're a little bit north of them, so thank God we haven't seen any signs of that tonight.
Well, I have come to realize that about the best way to know exactly what's going on is just run out in the backyard and check the weather rock.
Yeah.
David, tell us what's going on down
Yeah.
there in Florida. What have you got to stir up tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to get on this. They're having a workshop tomorrow, but I missed the timeline on it. It's for NIST.gov, and it's a mobile forensic workshop. So I was going to try to learn some stuff about some mobile, like how to stop mobile hackers and, stuff like that.
NIST.gov.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that site, but I just pulled it up and bookmarked it.
Yeah, if you scroll down to the bottom, they're holding scroll the page there. I'll show you where the workshop is for tomorrow.
That's what I was going.
Up.
I went past it, huh? Not seeing anything about a workshop, but I'm sure if I look hard enough, I'll find it.
Yeah, but I missed the timeline. They cut it off a week ago. And I was going to do that so I could learn about. And you spend the whole 8 hours, you get a certificate.
Yeah.
So. Oh, yeah. Missed that. But other than that, I just got out here mowing and cutting trees and sweating to death and all that there stuff.
Well, we will.
It's a mobile workshop. Oops.
That's me. I clicked on the wrong thing there. No, I don't want to bookmark. Oops. Let's see here. Well, pushed the wrong button somewhere. There we go. There, I bookmarked it. I can go back and look at it here later. See if we can find some valuable information. What is NIST?
Yeah, it's
National Institute of Standards and Technology.
Yeah, what the workshop is about tomorrow, it's about to teach you how the forensics on how to protect people on a mobile device, a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And how to stop hackers and, cybersecurity and stuff like that.
Real simple. You turn it off and you take the battery out of
it. Yeah.
Get back to basics.
I have a Samsung mobile device here. that I use all the time. And when I first bought it, I wasn't real familiar with it, and I didn't know which button to push to do what. And I took it back into
Sounds
the
like me.
place where I got it, so I could ask them to tell me something more about it. And it just so happens that the sales representative or training representative or whatever from Samsung happened to be there in the store. And I told her if I couldn't learn something about it, I was going to have to throw it away. So she sat down and she was kind enough to spend time with me and went over the whole thing, all the buttons and wheels and everything and whistles, and showed me all kind of stuff to do it. And she asked me did I reboot my phone, because she said that that's something that you need to do frequently. And I said I do. And she says, well, how do you do it? And I said, well, it's real simple. I turn it off and back on. And she said, well,
Yeah.
that'll work, but that won't clear everything out of it. She said that just don't really cut the mustard there. So I asked her, well, how do you do it? She says you turn it off, take the battery out of it for a while. She said, oh, actually, she said take the battery out of it without turning it off, is what she really said. And she said that will clear it. So, and I asked her how often. She says, well, I ought to do that at least once a day. So I've been trying to make a habit of doing that at least once a day now, simply because that's what she said do. It is a fact your phone is traceable with you even when you turn it off, if you still have the battery in it. So if you don't want somebody tracking you down, take the battery out.
Well, that's why you turn the GPS off. My phone has a GPS button, and you can turn it off.
Yeah, well, this
Nobody can track
this one does too. But then I found out that don't really turn it off. That turns it off so that you can't use it, but it doesn't turn it off so somebody else can't use it to track you.
I found out what IRS stands for.
What's that?
IR scared.
I are scared. Yeah, that's probably pretty applicable there.
My biggest problem, Reverend Dave, I fear nothing. Not even the IRS.
Perfect love cuts out all fear.
That's right. I'm not supposed to fear anything.
Well, I can't say that I'm in love with the IRS, so that one don't work.
No, I didn't. No. I'm not in love with them either. Oh. Trying to think of something. I'm going to think, Breen. Think.
Well, Brother Dave, have you got any, Rev Dave, have you got anything to share with us tonight while David's thinking?
I heard, I think it was Bill Childers said, you know what IBM stands for?
We fixing to, I guess.
Itty bitty money.
Itty bitty money, huh?
Or I've been moved.
That's me. Itty bitty money. Oh yeah, I got something to share with you.
Okay.
If you're interested in sending any secure emails,
Yeah.
there's a website called Lockify, LOCKIFY.com, and what it is, it's an app that installs in on Chrome, and you can send secure emails, and you can put password on there to the person that you send it to, and not only that person can read it, and then you can set it up to go away as soon as he reads it, or you can set it up for it to go away 72 hours later. It'll wipe it right off.
Well, I have to ask the question that is probably prevalent in everybody doing email marketing's mind. Do they have an app you can set up to make people read your email?
No, I don't think. I ain't found one yet.
Unlikely.
That's always been the real trick.
Well, you know, I mean, Sandy, that might have been good information for Sandy because she's in the real estate business and she wants to send some private information. She can send secure email now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
What, you don't send email?
We don't send sensitive information over email.
No.
Well,
I'm thinking now though that we had a settlement statement. We actually had a closing Monday. Yay! But we got a closing statement, and that had a lot of personal information on it, and it came email. They used to fax all that stuff. You never got it email. So yeah, David, you're right. That stuff should be protected. I would think
that would be a better way to send it than even fax, because fax is not real secure either.
Yeah. So Rockabye, huh? They'll look it up.
Yeah, it's Rockify.
Rockify.
LOCKIFY.com. It's an app that goes in on Chrome, and you can send secure email that way.
That's a Chrome app, you said?
Yeah, comes in on Chrome, yeah.
Yeah, if you just type in a few letters, it pops right up. All the information about it.
I always figured anything Google does is secure, might be secure to everybody but Google.
Well, I'm a lot more comfortable with Google in the security than I am with Microsoft. Microsoft is not very secure at all. But I can't guarantee you that Google is 100% secure either. But I've always been more comfortable using Google than Microsoft. But it worries me that Microsoft controls, 3/4 of the, if not more, of the computers in the world. They have full control over them, actually, because everybody's using Microsoft operating systems. And Microsoft has proven to me that they can come into my computer and do whatever they want to, whenever they want to. So.
Yeah, they blew mine up. I got a desktop in the other room. They didn't want me using XP anymore, so they blew it up. I downloaded something from Microsoft, tried to get rid of it, and when I got rid of it, it messed the whole computer up.
Yep. They made it really, 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 really obvious that they were going to force you to go to the Windows 8, 8.1 here just recently, and if you were going to run XP, they made it real obvious that they were going to make it real difficult on you. So.
Well, I heard, let's see, when was it? Sunday night, that Vista 7 is a lot better than Windows 8 because you're losing a lot of your features when you go to Windows 8, and what they're trying to do is charge you for those features when they were free with Vista,
Well, I never had Vista, so I don't know what I've lost by being on 8, but I did migrate over to 8 since they made it real obvious that none of my protection programs were going to function, and they didn't. They quit. And also some of the programs that I have been using for a long time and liked a whole lot. Worked great in XP, but all of a sudden they quit working and they quit being supported, even though they were not even Microsoft programs. Microsoft made it real difficult for them not to improve their operating and improve. I use that word cautiously, actually, but they're not to improve their system, so they did run on Windows 8. I still have a couple XP machines around here, but I do not use them. Well, in fact, they're not even set up to run right this minute. They would run if I hooked them up, but they're not hooked up right now. So my most of my machines were running Windows 8 anyway. I have one here on the desk that I use that was running XP. It's now running Windows 8.1. So, but I still use Google.
Well, did you figure out this past week how to tie the co-op in with the Facebook apps?
No. Other than just posting ads there or posting, comments or statuses and things like that refer to the co-op, which I have done that, and do it, update every few days. I go back in and update and add more comments like that. It's just one more thing we're doing with the co-op to get it, to keep it out there and keep it in front of people. It's doing real good, getting a lot of hits here lately, but I'm trying to, I've been given thought to just creating a whole new group, kind of like the Stifort Leaders Lounge, that is a secure group or private group or whatever, and using it to promote the co-op. I say that and it sounds weird, but anyway, if one way we can promote the co-op is just have the Facebook group program and only allow co-op members in there, and that'll give other people incentive to go ahead and join the co-op.
Right.
But I'm not all that real excited about having a large number of people in the co-op. I mean, we could stand a few more people in there, but if we get too many in there, it'll start diluting the effectiveness of the co-op. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, you've been in it 40 years, so you know.
My friends, I have a call I have to make, so I'm going to excuse myself. But it's been good to hear all of you here today, and I look forward to hearing you on Thursday again.
Well, Reverend Dave, every time you get on here, I run you off, don't
I? It's not you, David.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
It's more Mike than anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably me. Probably me.
His whole attitude just rubs me the wrong way.
Good night, Reverend Dave.
Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Good night, Dave. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Well, it don't look like anybody else is going to come in and join us tonight. Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up tonight? Anything we can... Lockify was a real good suggestion there, David. I appreciate that. I'm over here looking at it actually I'm looking at it on Google. It's giving me a lot of information about it here.
Well, I didn't know if y'all would want to send secure emails to somebody or not. I just thought I'd mention it.
No, I'm still looking here to see if they got a way you can guarantee people to open your email instead. So I ain't found
Yeah.
that part yet, but I'm. I don't know. It's that's a good question to pose out there. Is email dead? Is it a dying medium? Uh, is social media more effective? Is the mobile platforms more effective than email? Or I don't know. I get oh I get a ton of email come in here every day. I mean a ton, and I would say probably 99% of it gets deleted and never opened because it's just junk that I don't really want to see. And I just wonder what's everybody's opinion of email these days.
I think social media has got email beat.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
We use it a lot, really a lot.
Okay.
Like I said,
How do you use
doc-
it, Sandy?
documents back and forth.
Sending
I mean,
documents.
it's fantastic. You do not have to go have paper signed in person anymore. You just send them to people. We've closed transactions with people that are missionaries in the field in Papua New Guinea and Africa, and so
Yeah.
uh, documents just come back and forth by email.
That
So it's phenomenal.
that
But
is
I,
interesting. That
don't.
is one use of it. That for sending documents, it's probably still very good medium for that. I guess I was thinking more in the line of marketing and promoting, uh,
I don't
advertising.
open most of marketing emails. I mean, I don't think anybody does. It's kind of a waste of time, really.
I find myself having a lot less results from sending emails than what I do by some of the social media. I use a lot of different social media and social platforms and things like that, and it just seems to me that there are a lot in. I say that, and I'm not a Facebook guru by any means. I'm about as lost as you can be when it comes to Facebook. But there's a ton of different social media platforms out there that people use and people seem to like that. I have more effective, and IBO is one of them. IBO really works. Uh, it works great, and the the more I learn how to use it, the better it works. But there's also a lot of other social media platforms too that seem to do better for me, than email. I still do use email occasionally, but email to me has become more what Sandy was just talking about. I send documents back and forwards, and or I am relating, building a relationship or something with a individual where I'm talking with an individual and sending one email directly to a person who's expecting my email and will open it. Uh, what I've pretty much found is that if I'm just sending out advertising emails and things like that, even safe lists and stuff like that now is getting very ineffective. So,
But Mike, what would replace that?
well, if you can believe what everybody's promoting nowadays, the mobile apps are mobile communications, your text message, your SMS messages, your push messages, push notifications, and stuff like that is becoming a whole lot more effective because the figures that I get, from that's been coming into me is 97% of the people that get a push notification or an SMS text message or something like that, open them. Whether they do anything with it after they open it or not, I don't know. But 97% of the people open them and actually look at them. Where your percentage of people opening emails nowadays, just marketing type emails are, well, especially if you use me as an example, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, we
Because
just filter them out. You could filter them out and never see them.
a lot of them I filter out, and then of course the people figured out how to get around the filters. That I got emails that I've written half a dozen filters for the same person sending the same
Oh,
email
right,
over and
right.
over, and it's still they still come in, but it doesn't matter. I don't read them. I just delete them.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do every morning. I pick before I even get out of bed, I pick my cell phone up and I run through my emails and delete. And sometimes I'll delete every one of them that came in. It's but now text messages and other stuff that comes in, I have to agree with what they're saying. The fact I look at those, whether I act on them or not is another question, but I do at least look at them. So also Skype. I had somebody, they're not even in my contact list. They were and how they were managing to do it, I don't know, but they were calling me at 2:30 this morning on Skype.
Oh, that's awful.
My Skype comes in on my cell phone too, which stays by my bed just in case somebody has an emergency or something. I'm one of them people that leave it run all the time, and 2:30 this morning it was ringing with someone calling on Skype. All I did was reach over and push the delete button, the hang up button. I don't know who it was.
Well, it wasn't me.
Well, it was. I did see a name, and it was nobody I recognized, and so I pushed over and hit the hang up button.
Yes, Sandy got tickled when I said it wasn't me.
Nope, it wasn't you this time. I mean, it wasn't you. I'll tell you the truth. If it had been any of y'all, I would have answered the call. But somebody I don't know, and maybe it could have been the president calling, and if I didn't recognize him, I would have hung up. So
I've been getting phone calls because my phone number on my profile page from Belgium and all kinds of places.
yeah, well,
Pretty good.
And another thing, I tried to put Pinterest on my profile, and there wasn't a list for it. So what I did is I tied it to the network blog, that round circle thing,
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get Pinterest in there.
Yeah. How many of y'all use Pinterest?
Well, I do it for cars and stuff.
I use it.
That's what I do.
Mainly.
I pin a lot of cars.
Yeah.
I try to remember to pin my PR to it whenever I do one for
Well,
IBO.
that's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I just I got Pinterest.
I need to learn how to do that.
You make a board for press releases, blogs, and then every time you write a blog, you go in and share it on Pinterest in that category. You bring up your little category board, and then you just say pin it, and it'll pin it to that.
Well, I know
I don't use WordPress much anymore. Pretty much just IBO
Yeah.
and I share it on Twitter and Google Plus.
Well, I share.
Well, I share PRs on Twitter and Facebook, but I've never tried to pin one yet.
I haven't done that either.
And it's never my PRs. I always pin somebody else's.
Well, it's good. It's still good to share that way.
Yeah.
I have actually. I'm just looking. I don't see it here. I got to figure out what I did with it. I have an app in my toolbar or whatever it is up at the top of my browser that is just a little Pinterest P. And if I have a website up or anything that's of interest, I can just go up there and click that, and it'll pin it. It'll ask me which board that I want to put it on, and I can pin it that way. But I wound up getting so much on Pinterest, and that it got to be a jumbled mess, and I really wasn't getting much out of it. So I doubt anybody else was either. So I haven't been doing that as much lately.
Well, Julie Klein for a long time was writing that she was sharing on Pinterest, and I could not for the life of me figure out how she was doing that. I could not figure it out. Now we've got it in our choices, our selection of where we want to share.
Yeah.
But we didn't then, and I could never figure out how she was sharing on Pinterest. So it's not easy to understand Pinterest. I think it's a little different.
I guess when you
now that we've got it on the selections, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, that does make it easier. I usually wind up using Facebook and Twitter mostly for sharing. I do share with the Google, G+1 or G+, whatever it is. I do use that one a lot too.
And LinkedIn, I use LinkedIn too. I don't use it personally, but I do share stuff on LinkedIn. Like when I do my own blog, I share it on there. I haven't gotten much response to that end, but people have had good success with it. I just haven't.
I've known people. I've talked to people that use LinkedIn. They use it, and some people swear by it. That's the best thing to since sliced bread. But I've not been that successful with LinkedIn myself personally. I've not, and it's probably not LinkedIn's fault. It's probably my fault for
I don't know how to manipulate it. Have better luck with Twitter and Facebook. I don't like sharing stuff on Facebook because it goes to my personal page, and I don't like that. I don't mind the PRs, but everything else.
Do you have a fan page or a business page?
Yeah, and I have that set up, but the stuff kind of automatically goes to my Facebook page, and I don't.
Yeah.
When I share it myself, I make sure it goes to my page. But when it goes automatically, I don't know why it's doing that. It goes to the page. It goes to the personal page.
You're not the only one that has that problem. I
generally don't have that problem. I generally it goes to my fan page, my business page. But I don't know. There is I know when you share it, there is a little bar that says go to your timeline, and it'll drop down there, and you click on it, and you can tell it to go to a group like the Stifle Up Leaders Lounge, or you can tell it to go to your fan page, or you can tell it to go any page that you manage, that you have, that you want. Actually, if you go into the group, you can send it to just about any group out there that will accept your post, of course. But, so I generally don't have a problem with it going to my personal page, but seems like everybody else on Facebook sends stuff to my personal page. So to my timeline, they call it, or news line, or news feed, or whatever. Uh, like I said, I'm not a real big aficionado of Facebook. Uh, it's a good medium. I really think it's a good social medium. It's a good medium for meeting people and things like that. But I tend to stay with some of the others instead. One that
I got a question.
yes, sir.
When you share something, I've had problems here lately, and I try to share somebody's PR. If it's more than 140 characters, it won't share on Twitter.
On Twitter,
What do you do?
never had. Uh, I usually go in and edit and cut it down to so that it's less than 140 characters. I take out
Oh,
words and punctuation and spaces and anything that's not absolutely necessary for the message to go out. And
you can edit somebody else's PR.
no, I don't edit the PR. I edit the when you click on to share it on Twitter, it's just a little status or whatever message, and I edit that down. That's what you got to have, less than 140 characters.
Okay.
You just cut out the extra stuff.
Yeah, anything that's extra that's not really needed, I just cut it out, like my name and. So,
No, I was saying if you're sharing somebody else's PR and it's
same,
over 140 characters, same thing. You just
yeah,
edit
the same thing. When you click the share on Twitter button there on in your left hand column, left hand menu, it brings up the little text message that it's going to post to Twitter, and it actually tells you how many characters you have left, or how many that you've exceeded 140 with. If it's black, it means you got, if the number's black, you got that many more characters you can use, or if it's red, you've gone over the limit, in which case I go in and delete characters that I feel like are not 100% necessary to get it to the point where it's not red anymore.
Okay.
That's a candy canister.
Candy canister, huh?
I choked on. I made cucumber salad for dinner,
Yeah.
and I use a lot of red wine,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sugar it, take the acid taste out. And I was tasting the cucumber, and I choked on the vinegar. I could not breathe. I was totally airless. I couldn't breathe in, out. Anyway, it's so scary.
Right.
I thought
That would be.
I thought I was going to be done, And finally, choking and getting some cold water with my hands, like slapping it into my mouth. Somehow I was able to get at least a breath, and then I started to choke on the, try to bring the vinegar up
Right.
or something. And my throat is so sore because I coughed and cleared it so many times. So the sugar and the candy is kind of soothing. That's a good excuse, isn't it?
I read it was a PR actually on IBO here a few days ago, week ago, a couple weeks ago, sometime recently. I read it, and they went through all the benefits that you get from cucumbers, and it actually is
They're fantastic.
one of the absolute best vegetables that you can that you can eat. Uh, and
We have
it
a couple
also
of
has a
times
lot
a
of
week.
other uses for it too. You could use it for cleaning and all kind of things.
Oh, didn't know that. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I've been kind of missing in action with IBO. It's been days. I think I had 3 stars when I was surprised I had that many when I signed on tonight. And I thought, oh boy, I better change that. But yeah, it was quite a while since I was last on.
You are aware I have really
I haven't.
a page set up really for me for shortcuts and stuff like that, so I can find things. And uh, all y'all's PRs are
Oh, that's neat.
rebroadcast on it. Uh, so that's the reason I try to go over and check them. I'm sometimes I'm negligent and don't get it done every day, but I try to get over and check them every day, see if there's anything new up there, and read and comment on them.
Well, my newest one is it says, "Are you shortchanging who you truly are?"
Yep, that you are right there.
Yours, David?
Yep, that's
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting on now. I'll take a look for it.
I just use the RSS feed and feed it over to a web page that I have set up, and I have people that I like to follow most there.
I like that one Don put out. Don't insult
Don't
my
insult my
intelligence.
intelligence. Yep.
He's got some good pictures in there too. One of these days I'll learn how to put pictures in mine.
Oh yeah, I like that picture. I saw that. Pictures are not easy. They're not hard to put in there. It's just in your editor.
That's the second I heard that today, though. I didn't reply to the first one. It was an email, but that's the second time I heard a person say they didn't know how to get pictures in there.
Well, let's see here.
I don't have any trouble getting pictures in. I have trouble getting the print in to look the way it's supposed to look.
Well,
I have tried everything. I even do that preview, Don, that you mentioned.
Uh-huh.
I paste from Word and I do the preview, and it always comes out looking like something that got shot out of a cannon. Horrible.
Darn.
Yeah, I noticed, Sandy, that they stack up on each other.
Oh, it's awful. And I even reduced the print. Oh.
I use what Don showed us before, that little trick, and that helps me a whole lot to be able
Yeah.
to adjust.
And I do that, and I do. Still, it looks awful, awful, awful.
David, are you looking
Yeah.
at the screen share right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I've got up the text editor for posting a PR, and if you will go and just put your cursor wherever you happen to want your picture to go, and if you go to the little box that I'm pointing to right now with my cursor, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's on the top row, the second little item from the right. If you click on that, that's where you insert your picture, and you can do it with in a number of different ways. But that's fill this information in, and it'll actually post that picture there. If you got a picture that that you've got hosted somewhere or something like that, you can, with a URL, which is, I do that a lot since I have my own web server that I use. But you can just put the URL in there, and if you want to edit the size, you can change the size, of the height and width like that, and you push OK, and it'll actually, wherever your cursor was, it'll pop that the picture in right there.
Okay.
It's really pretty simple to do.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know how to do that. I just learned something tonight.
Well, that's what we're here for. That's I found is two of the most useful tools. There's 3 tools on that toolbar right there that I think are very useful. One is the preview. What's in my way? One is the preview. The other one I use a whole lot is, of course, inserting hyperlinks, which is really simple to do. You just type your URL in there, and pretty much you type your URL in there and click OK is good enough.
I do those I put the links in on my Starfort landing page every time I do a PR.
Yeah.
So I know how to do that. I just wasn't sure how to do the pictures,
That is insert image, and that's exactly what it'll. Wherever you put your cursor, it'll insert the image. You just got to, open it up and then fill in the information there. It's like I said, it's real simple, and it works great. And it is good to put at least one good picture on there to catch people's attention on your PRs. It's a good thing to do. Like Sandy, that one I was talking about that she did. She put a picture in there that was kind of cute. Got Google and Facebook and Twitter all fighting there.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cute, but it's pretty simple to do. And I like the picture that Don had on his, don't insult my intelligence. So I think Don come back in.
Yeah, I got bumped off again.
It was that time. I knew who it was that went off, because it happens every time we're on the call. It's about that time. We've run up to an hour here. If anybody got anything you want to talk about tonight, or you want to, or we can call it a quits, or what? I can do whatever y'all want.
I have to go. I have to call Doug's grandma back again.
All righty. Well,
I hung up on her to get on the call. Aren't you impressed?
I am impressed, and you got here
early,
and
you beat me in here.
And I did. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
So I'll be saying good night. God bless you all.
Well, it's been a good call.
Nice,
I
Sandy.
appreciate all y'all been in here, and your participation. I really appreciate it. It's good for everybody. I've learned a little bit tonight, and I hope y'all have too. Look forward to seeing everybody again Thursday night.
Okay. Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mike.
All righty.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.